Midnight.
Coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, ladies and gentlemen, it is the most wonderful time of the year and one of our biggest shows of the year, our Money in the Bank preview show, featuring one of our very, very dear friends and special guests from the Down for the Count Women's Wrestling podcast. Alexis is here to join us, and not only are we going to be talking about Money in the Bank, we're also going to be talking about a door that was forbidden in Canada, but forbidden no more, with a pretty epic AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling pay-per-view, and we don't say that often, but sit back, relax, and make sure Donald Trump doesn't go on Fox News again. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Kings of the Rings podcast, episode 345, Money for the Marks 2023, our 8th one ever, 7th annual Money for the 7th anniversary of Money for the Marks, exclusively on Wrestle Addict Radio, and it starts right now. I don't think I've ever...
Just as audio tapes can go on Fox.
Yeah, I've never seen a worse criminal.
Oh, the hamburger.
I mean, seriously, the Hamburglar is a better criminal than former disgraced President Donald Trump. Like, the Hamburglar.
I don't know, man. He's got away with it this far. So, like, he's wiggled out of every single crime he's ever committed.
Nah,
I think he'll be
he's
all
dead
right.
to rights now. He's dead to rights.
I mean, the Hamburger is more of like a meth head or a crackhead. That's the energy he gives me. I mean, he's just trying to steal people's food. He's not giving out, like, government secrets or anything like that.
Dude, the crazy thing is, he's going to win a nomination from jail. Like, that's the crazy thing.
Hell.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah, America. Crazy time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 345, Money for the Marks. It is one of our biggest episodes of the year, if not the biggest episode of the year. It's actually the episode, or the name of the episode, that we continually do, besides Rumble of Royalties, Money for the Marks. It's the episode that I debuted on like 8 years ago, which is kind of fucking nuts. Of course, I'm your host, King Ricky Rose, and we are with a special guest this week. Kayfabe will not be joining us, but we are going to be joined by one of our esteemed guests who has been on the show before. She is representing the Down for the Count Wrestling podcast, and she goes by the name of Alexis. Alexis, how are you today?
Doing good. How about yourself, man? I missed you.
Yeah, we missed you too. You're great. I'm glad we're like TikTok friends. We send us really dumb memes and TikTok videos all the time. So, but it's good to have you back.
That's the best thing to use TikTok for, honestly.
Yeah,
That's the only thing to use TikTok for.
Yes. Yeah, TikTok has saved my life this year. And of course, always with me, with 77 days since his last incident. Congratulations, Will. You are progressing very, very well. Will Tarashak, how are you?
I don't even remember what the incident was. What was the incident? I don't even remember. What did I do?
That is for me to know and you to figure out. It's going to be great.
Oh, God. Well, actually, I know we don't want to talk politics on this podcast, but imagine if Trump's a felon, he won't be able to vote in the election he's going to win.
It's big if.
Meaning the primary. So, riddle me that one, Batman. What a country. My name is Will Tarashuk, T as in Thomas, Arashuk, a professional podcast host, here for another fun, adventurous episode of King's Wings podcast. Very excited.
Yes.
My favorite show of the year, man. I thought it was last week.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a great show. And yes, for us, that was the Ambrose Cash-in night when all three members of the Shield held the title.
His career ended.
That was my favorite Money in the Bank, honestly.
Yeah. Just
that end was just so, I don't even know. It was like emotional.
Yeah, I remember Will just screaming. I don't want to pause.
Yeah, I did that. Hey, what a first impression. It's literally the night we met.
Yeah, that was the night we met.
That was the night we met.
I had just moved up to Tennessee. I was staying with my mom, and I had just got back into wrestling. So, like, Ambrose was my guy. And I screamed when he won Money in the Bank. And when he cashed it in, I woke up my mom, my dad, my daughter, who was a baby at the time, the dogs, like, they that night. And I think that was just a feel-good moment of Money in the Bank, honestly.
Yeah, all right, so a question for you, Alexis. Since you being a female-bodied individual, what is the John Moxley, Dean Ambrose lore? Because we've had many of women on this show, and a lot of them are huge Mox fans, or in some aspect very attracted to him. What is it?
Honestly, for me, is that he has a great sense of humor. Like, if you can make me laugh, I'm pretty much yours. Like, I mean, he's cute. He's a grown ass man who has dimples when he smiles.
Whenever that happens.
Well, but now not in AEW because he's going through his emo phase again. But like when he was in WWE and he smiled, he has like dimples, and he's just making sure my child don't hear me. He's got a nice ass. Like he's got the perfect proportion waist, and then like he's all ass, or he used to be, because now he's getting kind of
not husband.
Yeah, it's just. I just liked him because like the way his character was, and then when I found out that's like how he is, it's just like that's what kind of attracted me to him, because like what you see is what you're getting.
Yeah.
And I also just he's funny, and it's so weird seeing him with like pictures of his daughter, because I'm just like the first person who breaks that little girl's heart's gonna get like stomped. Like so bad. And I'm like, I'm gonna pray for you. That's like Triple H's when his daughters go through their first heartbreak. I'm just like, I don't want to hear like Lemmy blasting in my front lawn at like 3 a.m. in the morning.
Triple H outside with his freaking leather jacket and jeans.
Yeah, he's got the sledgehammer. I mean, I just think, I mean, he doesn't do much for me now in AEW, but like before, like he started having the complications in AEW, like when he went to rehab, which I'm really proud of him for going for. And he was just really cute, but now it's just like, and then he became a dad, and I'm like, hello, DILF. But now it's just kind of like, he's like that guy, if you go to like a punk hardcore show, he's always like the guy that's there for some reason. I don't know, it's hard to explain now, but
I'm going next week. I'll let you know if he's
must
there.
be, it's got to be the tortured, it's got to be the tortured soul allure.
Ugh. It's like, I don't like wrestlers who are pushing their 40s, like Finn Balor's doing like right now, saying, I gave my youth, they took my youth. Like, dude, what are you talking about? You're 40. Like, stop.
I wish I looked like Finn Balor when I turned 40. Like, Jesus Christ.
Really? Right. I wish I could just look like Trish Stratus or Lita, because I'm about 2 years away from 40.
Yeah.
That would be great. But
amazing. Thank you, Trish, if we didn't say it already.
You're welcome, Rick.
Thank you. Well, so let's get this party going. We are going to talk about Money in the Bank and all this other fun stuff. But first, we got to do a little bit of a recap of AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Forbidden Door. And I must say, Mr. Tarashuk, I was sports entertained. I was impressed.
I thought it was a great show, great crowd, great presentation. Love the set.
That is also the Collision set.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Match placement was pretty solid. I like how CM Punk was second, because fuck him.
Booed him out the fucking building.
Very interesting. He played it up very well. I am so ready for heel CM Punk or tweener CM Punk or just CM Punk in general. His match also went pretty long, so he's got the gas in the tank. He played it really well, and yeah, I thought the show was excellent. I thought it was probably one of the best shows they've ever done. I haven't seen an AEW show since the last time CM Punk was on pay-per-view, and this one was way better than that one. Not so many gimmicks, only one bleeding guy, or one bleeding match, I should say.
Yeah.
And I was thoroughly impressed. It made me want to watch AEW again, to be honest.
Yeah. Alexis, well, did you get to watch Forbidden Door at all?
I did not get to watch Forbidden Door. I was actually up in Ohio. I was at the Punk and Drublic Festival going on with NoFX putting on their last shows. But I did
what?
Yeah, me and my husband, we went up there, and my husband's a huge NoFX fan. Like, he looks like Fat Mike, and I have always loved Fat Mike, so it kind of goes hand in hand, too. So there you go. But I did see the reaction that Punk got out of the audience. And I'm just kind of like, well, this is what you guys wanted, right? You wanted him back. So what are you doing? If you guys want to hear about, gonna do a quick cross promotion. If you guys want to hear our feelings about CM Punk, go check out the show, because I don't want to bog down this show. Go check out Down for the Count, because we are pretty open about our feelings about Phil Brooks. I did like the fact that he made a joke. He's like, I'm gonna keep trying. I won't give up. Just like your Toronto Maple Leafs. And I was like, oh. Damn!
We had a
right for the jugular.
yeah. Listen. Heels are gonna heal. We did have our own Maple Leaf in the crowd. Mr. Frets from Fretzelmania Podcast was there for his first pay-per-view ever. So congratulations, Mr. Frets.
Hell yeah, Frets.
I really hope you enjoyed yourself and you made it out alive and not drunk, which seems like you did since you're here. You appreciated the leap show. Good. A hockey fan with a sense of humor. Thank God.
Yeah, Frets, what was it like meeting Slack? Put that in the chat. I want to know what he smells like.
They're very few and far in between because hockey fans, I'm telling you, they get passionate, man. Like, holy.
Yeah, they're psychotic.
I'm aware. I'm an Islander
They're
fan.
psychotic.
You pre-drank? Oh, you mean pre-game? But I got you.
My husband's a Penguins fan. I know how crazy they can get.
Really?
Like, oh my god!
Penguins
Yeah,
fan?
I married into a Pittsburgh family. I married into a Pittsburgh family.
See?
Yuck.
God damn it! It's you know what it is. It's the Crosby thing with the Penguins.
He's such a sweet guy,
he can
though.
kiss my ass, fuck him.
Like, okay.
I don't care about
I was really hoping, and then we could talk wrestling, but I was really hoping the Kraken, that's my new team. But like, I was really hoping they got so far, but I'm like, this could be the year we have cryptid Stanley Cup with the Devils, which are my boys too, versus the Kraken.
Devils are better. I get that.
And then, like, I wanted them to play with each other, and then I was like, I still want them to win, but like for a second-year team, Kraken got further than anybody was expecting, especially after being like one of the worst-ranked teams last season.
Listen,
sorry, I can talk about hockey
it's okay.
forever.
The NHL knows expansion because they just load up their expansion teams and they go to the playoffs like immediately. It's kind of nuts. By the way, speaking of which, because Vegas won the freaking Stanley Cup this year, but real quick, you know what it is about Sidney Crosby for me? He's got that Tom Brady stench.
Oh, come on.
He does. He does. He has the Tom Brady stench.
Does he also kiss his son on the lips?
Probably.
Him.
Okay, can we?
Titus O'Neil.
Yeah.
Can we all just say that we don't like Alexander Ovechkin? Though, can we all agree on that?
Listen, I respect
As
Ovi.
the most mid hockey fan ever. I think Ovechkin's the shit.
I respect Ovi. I think Ovi's a fucking great player. That man's an assassin on the ice. Yeah. I can't stand Crosby. I can't stand Crosby with a burning passion. Go Islanders. Anywho, Forbidden Door. Back to Forbidden Door. It was actually pretty good. Like Will said, match placement was kind of a little off. Like, for instance, like Bryan Danielson and Kazuchika Okada should be the proper main event for all intents and purposes. Like, those are the two biggest draws. And it was the main event. The only problem was your hometown Canadian boy, Kenny Omega, and Will Ospreay stole the show and put on a main event match on not the main event slots.
Like, well, they threw out Sting and Jericho to kind of cool them
Oh,
down.
that cooled down a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that match was not the other one, but I heard that the Jericho Sting one was like the stink of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those things like you look at that match and you look at the people in that match, and that would have been a fantastic match 8 years ago.
10 years ago? No, because I've seen that match when WCW was still up and running.
Yeah, it just didn't flow at all.
It would have been a great Impact match.
Yes, there it is.
Like
there it
TNA
is.
2009, that would have been the match.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, can't wait to talk about that guy. Which I didn't know he was actually in the PC like 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, he was fired from WWE. We'll talk about that in a second. But Forbidden Door, I was
way.
really impressed with it. JAS versus Hot Topic was not good. That's a very good analogy there, friends. Very good analogy. Yeah.
That is pretty funny. Sting keeps no-selling going through tables, and I don't get it.
He's too he's too old to move. Like this.
Yeah, I feel like he wears hockey pads.
He has to at this point. He's a fragile man.
Like, so he doesn't break his spine. Like, that's why he probably can't move so well. He wears padding underneath his flobby t-shirt.
It's a shame too.
No, because if you notice on his legs, he's been wearing where it looks like there's been outer padding on his bodysuit, like around his thighs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might, because I don't know. Sting is one of those guys. Tiff called him highly.
63 years old.
he's like highly favorable, highly blessed. Is what she says, because like he's a non-problematic fave. Because when's the last time you heard Sting acting up?
Never.
And he shows up. I wish he wouldn't wrestle, because that's like watching my dad wrestle. And I'm just like, and my dad's 70-something years old, and I'm just like, okay, you know what, dude? It's I mean, you're in way better shape and most of your constituents, and you can walk, so that's a plus for you. Way to go. But let's hang up the face paint, Stinger.
Yeah, just give us Steve. I'm cool with Steve. Steve's cool. I've met Steve at an Access. Steve's awesome. We don't need Sting anymore.
Yeah, Sting is the man.
Yeah.
I do love Sting.
I love Sting too. But let's get to the main event of the night, which was Okada versus Danielson, which was a very technical match. Like, pure technical wrestling match. Very, very good. I mean, Okada always delivers, but it was weird to see Kazuchika Okada tap out to Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, but he fucked up Danielson's arm big time, though.
He broke his arm.
That break was nuts.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
I mean, it's a clean break, so you know that's a good thing. But still, it's just like the dude broke his forearm and he still wrestled like 10 extra minutes. Like, I love Daniel Bryan, but I'm just like, dude, you are not the young spring chicken that you used to be. You got kids and a wife at home. Like, you need to maybe slow it down a bit, bro.
Well, you know what he's thinking now? Well, that was fun. Time to go back to WWE and retire.
Did my bingo halls. Now I'm out of here.
Like, what else? Who else does he possibly have to wrestle? Like MJF, maybe?
Maybe?
He's already wrestled. Hasn't he wrestled in
I don't know.
Yeah.
He might have. I don't know. Like, what else is on his bucket? Because he went to AEW to do bucket lists, which, hey, man, I get it. Like, I would have done it too, but at some points, like, how much, like you said, how much is left? How much more do you got to do?
Also, like, he's like Daniel Bryan's one of these people who
He did have the Iron Man. Thank you, Freds.
Daniel Bryan is one of these people who will keep on wrestling until he dies, and someone has to stop him. And clearly, Brie hasn't been able to do it. Triple H tried.
Oh, Goldberg.
You know, and so it's one of those things where, like, I get scared for it because Daniel Bryan has had concussion after concussion after concussion. Now he's breaking bones. I'm just like, what is left for you? Like, you can, like, Daniel Bryan, you can hang it up. Like, we're good. Like, you can go, Daniel. Like, it's fine. Like, your legacy is solidified. I'm just worried that he's going to be in the ring too long and something completely catastrophic is going to happen to him.
And that's the last thing, honestly. Like, if I like a wrestler, if I don't like their persona, if I do like their persona, at the end of the day, that is somebody's, you know, husband, wife, child, grandpa. I mean, I don't know. It's important to somebody, and you don't want to see that happen. Like, the Ric Flair match with him and Jarrett, I didn't watch it. Nicole took the one for the team, so we appreciate that greatly. And she said the entire time he was like trying to breathe, and it looked like at one point he was clutching his chest, looked like he was having a heart attack, and I'm just like, Ric Flair will not stop until he dies in this ring. And I'm going to say something really controversial.
Go right ahead.
You mentioned how Brie is kind of not putting the foot down.
She tried once, and it got him out of WWE, and then he's in AEW.
But he's still in AEW doing this stuff. And this is the thing that kind of irks me about another wrestling wife, but I don't want to say her name because she already gets enough hate, so I'm not trying to send hate to her, if that makes sense.
I know who it is. Continue.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out. Please give me another
figured
hint.
it out. She served in the military.
Her name's... No, it's not her.
Never mind.
She's married to one of the guys in the Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh, gotcha. Continue.
Yeah. She, I'm really not trying to paint her out to be like a bad person because she already gets enough shit. She's not one of my favorite people, but, you know, I am going to defend her, though. She lets her husband, who is the same age my husband is right now, and she's still letting him go out there, do these stupid hardcore matches, these stupid stipulation matches where he's getting busted open every week. And it's just like, why are you not stopping him from doing this? Like putting the foot down, say you need to stop doing this dumb shit. You're pushing 40. You can't keep busting your head open. You can't keep getting hit in the back with, barbed wire bats or something like that. Because God bless Mick Foley. I forget that Mick Foley's only 10 years older than maybe 10, 15 years older than me. But he looks like he could be my grandpa.
Yeah, he can.
That scares me. And he tells people...
Foley's lucky to be alive. Foley is 58 years old. Just turned 58 in June.
So he's only 20 years older than me. He looks like he's in his 70s, and that's no shame to Mick. But
and he only has 1 ear.
Yeah. And I was watching that thing with him and Taker, rewatching Hell in a Cell.
That was
and
so much fun.
He goes, he's like, I'm looking over the ring, the cage. I'm going, come on, Mick. Tell me you're breathing. Show me you're breathing. What are you doing? It's just like, my husband used to do stupid stuff when we were dating. And it got to the point where I just didn't want to put up with it anymore. And I told him, I said, you have to make a choice. Either you keep acting like this or I'm gone.
Ooh.
And because I'm not putting up with the dumb stuff. And I just wish someone's like, well, he just probably doesn't listen to her. Well, that's an issue that they're going to have to deal with because there's a miscommunication somewhere. If you're with somebody, if you're married to somebody, or you're in a relationship with somebody for a long period of time, there needs to be an open line of communication. And if I'm telling someone no and they still go off and do something, I'll be like, you didn't listen to a damn thing that I said, did you?
Yeah.
And it's just like, put your foot down, wrestling wives, because a lot of the husbands are getting older. They can't keep doing this stuff for much longer.
Yeah, no.
And I hear you. Like, I totally hear you. And we don't know what happens behind closed doors. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Brie does have those conversations. She pretty much hinted to it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, right? It's like, say Brie put a foot down. Brian's choosing wrestling. I'm sorry. He's gonna choose wrestling.
Yes, he is.
And I think most wrestlers would. And it's just like, well, now it comes to a situation where, do you want to lose your family being a single mom, or just let your husband do crazy shit until he learns? And realistically, as a wife, what can you actually do? Because at the end of the day, he's a man. He's going to make his own decisions. Again, I'm not married. So I understand wanting to put your foot down and having that communication. And I hope they do for both of their sakes, because he does have responsibilities. I do agree with you. He should not be going through these death matches. And Daniel Bryan should not be breaking his fucking arm for a wrestling match. But realistically, really, you put your foot down. Like, what can you actually do? You can't hop in their skin and control their brain.
Not Chad.
True. And I would never be like, you need to pick between family and wrestling, but I would kind of add in there, do you want to, and this is just a big one for me because we see so many wrestlers being broken by the time they're 40.
Yeah. They die in their 60s. Yeah. Piper, Dusty.
It's crazy. I would just kind of be like, do you want your family? Do you want to be here for your kids? Or do you want to be in a wheelchair with someone wiping your ass and changing diapers? Because you had to.
Because she's going to be the one wiping it.
Not me, man. Nope. Would not be me. I wouldn't leave your ass, but I hire somebody for you. Like, I told my husband, I'm like, if you ever become in massive, like, some way where you can't, wipe your own ass, I have too much respect for you to do that. I'm going to hire somebody to do it. Because as a wife, I love you. We have done some weird shit, but that's where
for another podcast,
Ricky, this should be a good Am I the Asshole? I left my husband. He didn't stop doing death matches.
I mean, that's just the thing, and it's like a lot of these guys are having kids later on in life, which is great. You want to get all that crazy stuff out on the road before you have a kid and settle down, but what if something goes wrong in like a match or a death match, God forbid, and you get crippled and you can't play with your kid, you can't pick up your kid. The thing that would kill me as a parent is not being able to be there for my kid, like at plays or anything school related or anything like that. But I don't know. It's just me being an old parent person. So
No, I mean all your concerns are valid. I think it's a concern about not only does the wrestlers' wives have, but a lot of fans of them have too as well, because you want to be able to see them and talk to them. You want them to live a pretty long life. I personally want to see Daniel Bryan live long enough to have his daughter face one of the Miz's children in a wrestling match.
Oh,
That's all I want. To be honest.
ultimate
Yeah,
crush.
Yeah. It's like the Hearts and the Flairs. You have the Danielsons and the Miz's, I guess, the Mizanins. Yeah. The Danielsons and the Mizanins. That's the new big wrestling rivalry families right there, because that has to be it, especially if Daniel Bryan goes back to WWE and Miz is the one to retire him, which is the way it should be. But we'll see what happens with that.
God,
I just think
great.
I just think it's funny that Roman had 2 twin boys, and Seth and Becky had a girl, and then Renee and Mox had a girl. And I'm just thinking, like, what if the 2 of Roman's boys got with them? And it's like the old little
The
mini
Samoan dynasty
But
continues.
I didn't
just-
know Roman had twins.
Yeah, Roman has like 4
Yeah,
kids,
he
right?
actually has.
Did he call them
he
Jimmy
has-
and Jay?
No, get this. Genetics are weird. He has 2 sets of twin boys.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
That's why he's been champion for so long, because his wife is like calling WWE and is like, keep making him champ, because I cannot have any more of these Samoan babies.
He needs to pay for those
Keep him
boys
on the
too.
road.
Like, he needs the money. That makes all the sense in the world now.
There's a picture of him like flexing, and I'm looking at his arms, because Roman's a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
His arms are so big, he was able to put like each one of his like sons, like they're tiny, on his arms and flex like this. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, Roman has like
And he
6
does have-
kids. Yeah,
Yeah, I knew Roman had a daughter. I didn't know he had a daughter. I didn't know he had 2 sets of twins.
yeah. The Roman's got a lot of kids.
She's funny. She's
Roman,
funny.
Roman
'cause
fucks. Dude.
like
That's why he takes so much
his
time
daughter
off.
is just like so over
True.
everything. Everyone's like, your dad's Roman Reigns. Like, that must be so cool. And she's just like,
She's like, yeah, I walked up the ramp at him at WrestleMania 32. Everybody booed us. I get it. Let's move on.
yeah, like,
That's what it was. He brought his daughter after he won the title the first time, and none of us gave a shit about him at the time.
We is still booed him.
Yeah.
And his stupid daughter.
hey, now.
Yeah, it was great. But anyway, Forbidden Door, folks, check it out. I don't think you'll be too disappointed by it. It was a really good show. Looks like they're getting things together. Next up on their docket is All Out, I believe, from Wembley.
Yeah, it's a month or so.
Yeah,
Quick side break. MJF, great match. He had a really good match. Great storytelling as always.
Yeah, no, good job for MJF. Real fan of him. His theme song is really catching on to me too. I am enjoying his theme song a lot more. Yeah, it's catchy. It's catchy. And I think not too soon after All Out, it's gonna be All In. I'm like, wow.
All in.
Yeah,
they're doing a full week in Chicago, which is like, dude, why don't you just kill the market after it's already dead?
Yeah, guys, here's the thing, TK. Space out your pay-per-views. You only have 4 of them. What are you doing? Space them out.
Not only that, it's like, I know you can't sell out anywhere that isn't Chicago or overseas, but at least try.
Seriously, make an effort, Tony. Make an effort.
Like, yeah, I think there was 14,000 people I said on TV in that
It's a good
arena.
crowd.
It looked full.
It's a good crowd.
It looked really
The top
full.
wasn't that full.
think-
I don't know. Freds can confirm for us or not.
Maybe. The camera angles were good.
Yeah,
Then.
no, they learned. They learned.
They still have a problem where they shoot their cameramen. Like, if you watch WWE programming, you never see cameramen.
Unless
ever.
they are
rare.
mistakenly in the way, and then like you have someone like Randy who's like, get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, like, or that's just on purpose.
Yeah.
But like AEW, I just noticed because I work in production and shit. I was like, oh, there's cameramen all over the place. Like,
Right?
sloppy.
I honestly think a lot of the camera guys in WWE is like planted because
Oh, no way in hell. That camera equipment's way too expensive.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the wires and everything. Like, I got a buddy of mine who works in production like you does, and he's like, there's no way that all those wires should be hanging out for no reason. And I just, AEW still has a lot of the technical stuff to work out with. They need a better commentary team. I'm sorry.
I will say this. Taz is fine.
horrible.
I mean, Taz, I've always enjoyed Taz as he brings the technical side to it. I'm going to say this now. I'm so glad they got Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly needs to replace JR.
Yeah, Kevin Kelly is pretty
Yeah.
excellent. Yeah, Jungle Boy turned heel to I don't care.
Unhook, okay.
Yeah, like after the match, one punch, then oh, crowd, give me attention. It's just like, no, dude, beat him up more. You want to get booed? Do something. Don't be like go like this, like you're fucking Chavo.
Ooh, Chavo.
Ooh, Chavo.
Oh my god.
Chavo's too bad being mad at Ray for bringing back the LWO because he's not a part of it. Anywho, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Forbidden Door, very good. Go check it out. But let's move on to the reason that we are here, the reason for the season. It is Money in the Bank weekend. WWE is putting on Money in the Bank live from the O2 Arena in London. It is going to be Saturday at 3 p.m. on the East Coast in the States. So thank God it's not at like noon like it was for was it Crown Jewel or whatever? No, for Night of Champions. Sorry, totally forget. Night of Champions. It was Night of Champions.
That was Saudi
Arabia. Yeah. That was.
Are you talking about the NXT? Was it the NXT one that came out?
No. Night of Champ, because you had Gold Rush was NXT. Night of Champions was WWE, and that was in Saudi Arabia.
Clash the Castle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clash of the Castle was the last one in Europe, but they are coming back for London O2 Arena. I'm very excited for the matches. I'm very excited for the crowd. Like, London crowd is an amazing crowd regardless. And now you're going to bring bring the fifth major WWE pay-per-view, because this is the fifth major, to the London crowd. They are going to go absolutely bonkers and ballistic. Not only that, Money in the Bank is one of my favorite shows of the year. I know it's Will's favorite show of the year. Will and I were fortunate enough to road trip to Money in the Bank in Connecticut that one year where Bayley won and cashed in, and Brock Lesnar ruined everybody's hearts, especially the people in the front row, after knocking over that ladder. and ended Mustafa's big push. Yeah, that match, which is fun. So, if Jermaine goes, I'd definitely like to hear from Jermaine, because Jermaine is our friend overseas for that. So let's talk about Money in the Bank a little bit, about things going on around Money in the Bank. Like, for instance, of course, WWE is going to have an exclusive Money in the Bank Superstore, largest selection of Money in the Bank merchandise. It's going to be open. Yeah, right. I'm not.
Son of a
That's so
bitch.
cool.
I'm not gonna lie. I really like that white Money in the Bank London, England shirt. Like a lot.
That is pretty cool.
And I might go on the shop to buy, but it's going to be open starting this Thursday at noon to 8.
They got the old belt too, the Winged Eagle.
Yeah, that's probably like the double plated Winged Eagle one too. So yeah, it's going to be open starting Thursday at noon. It's going to be running all the way through the weekend, including it's going to be open after the event the next day, Sunday, from 10 to 2. So if you are fortunate enough to be in London for that event, they also seem like they have the Union Jack on an exclusive Money in the Bank briefcase, which I have one right behind me as well. So do go check it out. Listen, if you've ever been to a WWE Superstore, especially for WrestleMania, it's amazing.
It's fucking super.
Yeah, it is amazing. I spend. There's too much money. Alexis, have you ever been to like a WWE like Superstore for like a big event?
When I went to WrestleMania for Ric Flair's last match.
Oh, you were at 24?
That's kind of when,
wow.
Yeah. That's when they started playing with the idea of like opening the stores up and everything. But I would love to go back now for one, because I'm noticing they're bringing like stuff from like the WWE archives.
Yes.
And just to see that stuff like up close, because I'm a huge wrestling like history nerd. I love learning about like anything possible about old school wrestling. And they have I just want to see Andre the Giant's boots. Like, that's all I
They're
like.
there. They're there.
They're fucking awesome. They also have a
formerly known as Access.
Yeah, formerly Access. Yeah, they also had, I think when we were in New York, the DX tank was there.
Oh man. See, I tried to steal that thing so fast. I don't even know how to drive a tank. I'll be like, this is mine now.
They
had a lot of cool. They had a lot of cool stuff. They like Undertaker's gear.
Trish's WrestleMania outfits. The like the Canadian special outfit that she wore once. When it was Taker's at Dallas a couple of years ago, he had his own special exhibit. So you got to have like, he had his own exhibit in the back. It was like behind like curtains, and it was like they had the graveyard stuff as theme music was going. They had the stone chair that he used to sit in for promos. That stone chair was there.
They had the elimination chamber.
Yes, I remember that.
Dude,
yeah.
They have a piece. My favorite Money in the Bank was Money in the Bank 2020 because you could tell they had to think fast on their feet.
Oh, that's the piece
in Connecticut.
The Connecticut one, yeah.
Yeah, and that when they went into the one boardroom and they have like
Dana Brooke moment.
the original Hell in a Cell cages just hanging up. I'd be like, I would never be able to work for WWE because they would catch me like trying to take this stuff home because they don't throw anything away.
They have a giant warehouse of shit.
And I want them to open a museum.
They just turned props into a museum.
Yeah, pretty much.
They need to. Like, I would definitely go, and you can have like monthly different things, like the history of ECW and stuff like that. I just want to see the Undertaker's casket.
I have seen pretty much all of them when they were on display during his Hall of Fame year, which
they had Mick Foley's ear.
They've had
my husband would probably try to steal.
They've had some crazy stuff, and even in the Undertaker exhibit, I'll mention that as well. They had all of his like classic WrestleMania gear, and so I was in there, and the person who was running it is like, "Yeah, you can touch it." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, go ahead." I was like, "All right."
You can touch
Yeah, so
it?
I did. Undertaker's gear is crazy.
Okay, I'm fangirling. Just give me a second.
Undertaker's gear
God.
is absolutely nuts. That whole exhibit was well worth the money that we paid for it to go in.
Did they have like a cast of Andre's hands?
There was, yes.
How big
that
it was
an access.
Yeah, they had a cast
that's
of Andre's
cool.
hands.
They've had a lot of good stuff at their Superstore / Access. It's mostly a Superstore now. Put it in general, folks. A WWE Superstore is WWE Shop, or the store formerly known as WWEshop.com, in real life. Anything you can think of is probably there and then some. We're talking figurines, video games, shirts, a whole section of all the belts that they've ever done, signature series and all, are all in like pretty much smack dab in the middle. So first thing you walk in, you see all the belts.
Like 18 checkout lines.
Yeah,
they're ready.
They're ready. They are absolutely ready. Also, if you're not going to be in London, which probably most of you are not, but you are going to be over on the East Coast, specifically in Brooklyn, based on the email I got today from WWE, since I'm on their mailing list, WWE is also holding an official Money in the Bank watch party in Brooklyn at the Dave & Buster's in the Atlantic Terminal Mall, right next to Barclays Center. It is going to be featuring a guest appearance by the Gargano family. Johnny and Candace will be there to host the event. It's going to be first come, first serve. You can register online for it as well at the Dave & Buster's website, or whatever company that's running it through Dave & Buster's. And also, we are going to be doing some giveaways. One of those giveaways is going to be a full Money in the Bank briefcase full of WWE merchandise. It gets even better, as well as they are going to be giving away tickets to next year's WrestleMania in Philadelphia. So if you're in the Brooklyn area, I think they're going to start doing check-ins around 2 o'clock, an hour before Money in the Bank. So I am considering going to Brooklyn. I know my friend Sir Charles is like, "So you're going, right?" And I was like, "Oh, you just want me to go to win WrestleMania tickets so you don't have to pay anything?" He's like, "Absolutely."
Yep.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
I don't ever do anything good like that where I live.
So here's the thing.
Damn.
I want to go get tickets so I can sell them and get cheaper tickets.
I was thinking the same thing, actually.
Because they're probably going to be not
why,
great seats. So sell them at a premium and then use that to buy floor seats. Duh.
Why is Candace hosting and not in the Money in the Bank ladder match? That's what I need to know, why she's not in this match.
I don't know.
Yeah, why isn't she wrestling? She's not on TV ever either.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think she might be taking it easy still with Quill or whatever.
Neither is Johnny. Johnny's not wrestling either.
I think Johnny's coming back to help with Ciampa soon. Now that Ciampa's back, thank God.
There are rumors that a DIY reunion is going to take place.
Rico, great comment, because Mayor Kane doesn't do handouts. He wants y'all to pull yourselves out your bootstraps. Good job, Rico.
I hate the fact that this guy's my mayor.
Glenn. Oh, Glenn. But so here's the thing. I don't like.
Oh, he's not a good politician.
No. The best thing.
Kane sucks.
The best thing about Mayor Glenn Jacobs, or AKA Kane, there's someone who trolls his Facebook page.
Oh yeah,
all the really time.
It's really funny.
Okay, kiddo.
Yeah. So the here's the other thing about WWE's thing. So I'm on their mailing list, but they also kind of know what region of of the US that I live in. So I'm not sure if this is the only official watch party that they're doing. It is a possibility that they are doing other watch parties in other major areas. I doubt it, but this also might be a pilot to see how well they do, because they've never really announced like we're doing a watch party ever.
The one in Orlando has Jinder Mahal and Veer.
Yeah. So it is very possible. But if you guys do go, I might be there. I'm not. I may not. I don't know yet. I'm still up in the air. But it is interesting, especially if you want to win some WrestleMania tickets. Also, hang out with Johnny and Candace. I've hung out with Johnny and Candace. Will and I have hung out with Johnny and Candace.
Yes, we have.
He's awesome. Awesome man. Awesome, real.
They're excellent people, but not worth going to Brooklyn for, dude. I hate going anywhere past Manhattan.
Well, to me, it's more of a direct shot. And also, by the way, folks, the meetup is free. You just have to register in advance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's completely free because you're going to spend a crap ton of money at Dave & Buster's anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to Queens on Sunday though, so I'm definitely not going to Brooklyn on Saturday.
That's a lot of borough traveling for you. You don't want to do that.
Too much traveling, dude.
Anyway, but let's get into the actual main card of Money in the Bank. Of course, we're going to start with the Money in the Bank ladder match, which now includes Logan Paul. We have Damian Priest, the man formerly known as Pete Dunne, now known as Butch, which I do predict we are getting Pete Dunne on Saturday. I have a strong feeling that he's going to be rebranded as Pete Dunne again. Santos Escobar, Shinsuke Nakamura, Ricochet, and in my opinion, the favorite to win this match, L.A. Knight. Because
I can't do sign language. I was doing.
Fun fact about LA Knight, which I think I mentioned earlier. LA Knight used to be a part of a PC 10 years ago, and he references on, I think, Chris Van Vliet's podcast. He was fired from WWE, and he was told it wasn't because of a skill issue. Apparently, he had a shit attitude. Couldn't tell by his character.
I think I heard rumors about that. Like, he was a real dickwad back in the day, but he's kind of mellowed out now.
He had a shit attitude, so he pretty much got forced to go to Impact, became world champion, and then they wanted to re-sign him again, but they also weren't going to up the money that they had first offered him. So he realized, like, I got to eat shit for a little bit and to build myself up, and that's exactly what he did. And I think LA Knight is my favorite to win this. My disaster pick, before we move on to you guys, my disaster pick, because I want to see wrestling Twitter burn to the absolute fucking ground, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Look
at him. He's just like, I'm winning it. This crap is just like, I'm winning it, bro.
I hate the fact he's so front and center. Like, he's the main guy you're getting your attention on. Like, I just want to kick him in the balls.
I know, that's why his character's great.
He's the biggest star on this graphic by far. That's why.
Yeah, it's crazy. Will Terrace, like, who do you have winning this thing?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm going with Fretz on this one. I got Damian Priest.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been picking Damian Priest since the beginning. I know people love LA Knight.
Yeah.
He's like the fan favorite. Yeah. But no, I don't see him winning. Let me talk to you. I'm not gonna win this thing. Sorry. Yeah.
Aww.
Listen, do you know how many songs include yeah? Like just saying yeah randomly? And do you know how many people have stitched videos of LA Knight singing the yeah part of a popular song?
Of like what the
like Usher's yeah.
Oh,
like Usher's yeah, and you just hear yeah. And it's the audio together. It's amazing. I would love for Logan Paul to win this because I want to have people's minds be exploded to be like, what the hell's going on?
I would also love Logan Paul to win this,
Yeah.
But I do think it's Damian Priest. I think he needs it the most, and he would do the most with it because they're really high on Judgment Day right now, and
Rightfully
Finn's going to lose, and Dom's going to lose too. So you gotta have someone.
You want to create a power struggle in the Judgment Day.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really good. Alexis, who do you have winning this Money in the Bank?
I gotta go with LA Knight. Like, me and Nicole and so many of us have been like manifesting that LA Knight's gonna win because just looking at it from like a wrestling perspective, he could definitely go after Seth or whoever Roman drops the title to because it's gonna be a good build up.
Yeah.
we've had enough failed cash. Now, if we're looking at like statistics or whatever, we've had. And sorry, I talk with my hands a lot. This is really weird.
It's perfectly fine.
Camera.
Go right ahead. It's cool.
Now, wrestling statistic wise, we haven't had a failed male cash-in quite a while.
Baron Corbin, maybe?
Yeah.
Well, Corbin was the last. Yeah, Corbin was the last one. Because wait, did Strowman win after a cash-in?
Oh, Strowman lost. Strowman lost. Yes.
SummerSlam.
Yeah. Brock chucked that briefcase all the way up the stage. I remember
he was
that.
There.
Yeah.
Brock was like, not today. I know. He went to cash in the next night, and that's when the Shield reformed for a night only and made sure Braun did not win.
Did Brock cash in? And
Brock in the bank? I want to say yes.
I don't know. I want my heart of hearts. I want LA Knight to win because he deserves it. Honestly, he put in the work down in NXT. He was great in NXT. I still think of him as Eli Drake in NWA.
He's just doing Eli Drake. That's all he's doing.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
That's right. Brock killed Kofi. That's correct. Thank you, Fretz.
He
was
got me.
That was the cash-in.
That was a declared match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just SmackDown on Fox. Yay.
I don't know. I mean, I would really all the excluding Logan Paul. I would not like it if Shinsuke won because Shinsuke's kind of on his way out. Because he said he just wants to wrestle for a couple more years and then that's it. Priest, it would be a shocker if Priest won and then Finn loses. And then like
story.
That power struggle.
It's a great story.
That power struggle within the Judgment Day. I don't want Logan Paul having it. I don't. I don't like him. I hate the fact that he's actually good in wrestling.
Everybody does. But you can't deny how good he is now.
I get nothing from him. I think him and Ricochet are going to have like another moment like they did at the Rumble.
Yeah, Ricochet and Logan Paul are going to annihilate each other again like they did at the Rumble, and I can't wait for it.
Instead of clashing in the tummies, they're going to kiss. Like,
it's going to make out randomly.
just a peck. Just a little. Oh, you know what? Logan Paul's just going to boop him. I don't know. Boop.
I want the match to be good.
Oh, I think it is.
But then at the same time, I want someone to break character and take the world's most expensive Pokemon card and stand over Logan Paul's carcass and rip it in two right in front of him. Like that would be.
Oh my goodness, that would be amazing.
Like I don't know if that would be a dick move, a heel move, an anti-hero move, but I'd be like, I want to be the one who does
anti-hero, but it would be glorious.
Like.
I don't know, man. I love Logan Paul. I think he's fucking amazing. I love his character. I love his personality. He might be a dick in real life, but
I can confirm he is kind of a dick in real life. I have someone who met him during WrestleMania weekend.
I don't doubt it. I mean, the guy's got a massive ego. The guy's like 24 years old. He's got a massive ego. Like,
it can't be as worse as his brother. You remember when his brother showed up? What was that at WrestleMania? Like last year?
That was Crown Jewel.
That was KSI.
Yeah. No, KSI was at WrestleMania.
Jake
showed up. Jake showed up during the Saudi Arabia Championship match with Roman.
Yeah, his brother's a way bigger dick, and not afraid about it either.
It was here in the States, and I think it was like the first time he was wrestling, and his brother was like drunk as a skunk.
Not surprised.
And he was just like, he was yelling at the crowd, like he wasn't even paying attention to like the people like up at the little booth thing there. He just kept turning around and yelling at the audience. And I'm just like, you could see like, I don't like Booker T or Jerry Lawler, but you could see like them being like, this is the most disrespectful little shit we've ever had up here.
Shucky ducky, quack quack.
Logan's much more marketable.
Very much more marketable, yes.
I'm going with LA Knight. I can't. It's just Yeah, I want him to win.
Yeah. LA Knight, I think LA Knight is the favorite. He is my favorite. I would be surprised if Shinsuke, no way in hell, Ricochet. And Santos is not there yet. Santos will be a big player.
Yeah, who? This guy sucks.
Santos is
This guy's
amazing.
terrible.
They are slow building Santos, and I'm perfectly fine with it.
Go back to your like Mexican mobster gimmick. That was actually
Which
good.
he's doing. He's slowly morphing that because he's wearing a little bit more fashionable stuff when he's not wrestling. And Santos is going to. I think Santos turns on Ray, usurps him, and then we bring back Mob Boss Santos.
Yeah, please, dude. He's a terrible babyface.
He's an okay, but they haven't done much of the LWO to begin with. But I am also going to go LA Knight. LA Knight or Damon Priest, that's going to be good. Now, moving on to the women, which is going to be 6 women, because there's not going to be a 7th. So we have Io Sky, Bailey of Damage Control, Trish, and Zoe, who is pretty much the female Roger Klotz of that pairing. She gives me big Roger Klotz vibes. You have Becky Lynch because you need somebody to curtail this freaking cavalcade of a circus that's going to be this women's Money in the Bank match, and the queen of the chancla, Zelina Vega, which I'm just excited to see what Zelina Vega comes out in because she's a cosplay queen. She's also one of the voices in Street Fighter, which is kind of crazy.
That is pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
But if I'm being honest, Alexis, we're gonna go with Io Sky's gonna win this whole damn thing.
Io has to win. I have been begging the wrestling gods ever since I've seen Io that she needs to be in a Money in the Bank match when she gets to the main roster. She is absolutely amazing. Honestly, this women's Money in the Bank does not interest me at all. And that's usually the one that I look forward to the most. Bailey has been boring the absolute hell out of me. Damage Control didn't do anything for Io or Dakota Kai. It makes no sense for them to be with Bailey.
I think the breakup's coming soon, and I think this Money in the Bank is going to kickstart that.
Yeah, that's why I think Io loses.
Ooh.
I don't want her to lose because she's going to be her and Becky are going to be the workhorses. I honestly think absolutely. That. Becky has been in Money in the Banks. Bailey has been in Money in the Banks before. I don't know if Zelina has, but Io has been in War Game matches, so she's used to, the jumping off while in a trash can on top of a cage kind of scenario.
Listen, Io Sky will find a way to jump up of something high. She has Shane McMahon syndrome.
She does. I don't like the idea of Bailey. If Bailey causes her to lose, I'm not even going to have heat for Bailey. It's just going to be like more of an annoyance. Because again, she's done nothing for me since she's came back. And I love Trish. Let me make this perfectly clear. I love Trish.
I do too.
She does not need to be in Money in the Bank.
I kind of agree with that.
I think she wins.
Then this needs to be the one that has a failed cash-in, because we have not had a failed women's cash-in since they started the women's ladder match.
Like a few hours later.
Yeah, women have 100% success rate. The men have, I think, around an 80% success rate, with a couple of notable failures. Damian Sandow being the most egregious of them. God damn it!
Criminal.
Yeah.
Like,
where's that briefcase in their store? Damn it! I want the Sandow-wise Money in the Bank briefcase. That was a beautiful briefcase.
I love Trish. She really is a pioneer when it comes to women wrestling in WWE. She is in amazing shape. I'm very jealous that she looks this good.
It's absurd. She looks even better in real life. I have a picture of her. It's unbelievable.
Like, her and Lita just look absolutely amazing. Like, a lot of the women from that era in WWE they look better than they did on TV. Molly Holly's never aged. To me, at least.
I love Molly.
And if you ask my husband, she never aged either because he loved Molly Holly. I don't think she should be here. I get it. It's storytelling because it's going to be that SummerSlam match of Trish versus Becky. But we already got Trish versus Charlotte. And I'm just kind of like, well, what's the payoff for this? And Zoe being with her, I know it's because Zoe's not strong enough to stand on her own on the main roster yet.
She's still working shifts at Applebee's.
Not with that jacket. She got enough. She definitely is a manager now at Applebee's. That jacket is phenomenal. The 2-color jacket, love it.
I just want to know, because looking at these matches, you had this, and then you had Natty, and I'm just thinking
Natty.
like, and I'm not trying to sound like a bitch or anything, but why is Natty need to be in a Money in the Bank match? You have Piper, you have Nikki, you have Chelsea Green, who has really grown on me, believe it or not.
Chelsea Green.
You have Sonya, you have Raquel Gonzalez. Give Shotzi versus Io and a Money in the Bank.
I will say this: Shotzi might replace Bayley in this. Because Bayley is putting her on SmackDown the Friday before, Bayley's putting her spot online against Shotzi because Io said she'll do it. So Shotzi might be a last-minute addition. I do agree that Piper Niven, it's freaking London. Put Piper in the damn match.
I don't want to see Piper climb a ladder.
She doesn't have to climb. She can just do a splash off of it and kill like Zelina Vega. It's going to be a great visual. But no, Piper needs to be in this up. But we might see Shotzi. That is the only caveat to this. We might see Shotzi be a sleeper. Bayley might still get involved and try to like fuck with Io, but Shotzi might be involved in this as well.
I needed Candice LeRae in this match. I'm sorry.
Candice is perfect for this match.
She is so tiny, and that woman will literally throw herself with her bionic knees and use the baby as like a weapon. I don't know.
No, I've seen Candice on the indies. Candice has done some wild shit in like intergender matches. Like Candice gives zero fucks about her body.
She's like 4 foot nothing, and it's just like she's so
She's very petite.
The way she sold that what was it, the chiropractor that Cedric Alexander does, and she went flying.
I've seen that. I've seen
damn.
that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You know Cedric's you remember Cedric's finisher?
It's like
a backstabber. Yeah, he did that to Candice LeRae. Candice literally like almost went out of the ring. It's freaking great. Speaking of backstabbers, there is there's rumors that a Caribbean Cool might be showing up sometime soon.
Hell yes! Dude, that guy is jacked.
I popped so loud when he showed up at Backlash, man. Like I was screaming.
Carlito's so ripped, he's like begging to be in a Marvel movie. He's like, look how fucking jacked I am. God damn it.
Carlito looks better now than he did when he was signed with WWE. He looks better than half the. He looks better than half the. Controversial opinion. He looks better than half the guys down in NXT.
That's not
right
controversial.
Now.
That's real. Yeah, that's real.
Yeah,
and that should put everybody on like high alert. Like I don't know how old Carlito is,
Doesn't matter.
Like 48.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, like, get your ass to the gym and get like at least a 6-pack. Like I appreciate the dad bod, but you're gonna let this dude steal your girl.
Tell
okay.
Corbin.
Like,
Carlito is 44.
Yeah. So he's right in his prime.
Aged either.
The rumor is MSG SmackDown next week.
Hell yeah.
That is the Caribbean Cool rumor. Like I said, unconfirmed by any credible sources, but that is potentially a rumor.
Meltzer, you tell me Meltzer's been wrong before.
Yes, absolutely, all the time. So yeah,
anywho, I hate that guy so much.
Everybody does. So does Io's got to win this in any way, shape, or form because I can't see anybody else exactly.
Dude, it's going to Trish, man. I wouldn't mind Money in the Man.
Money in the Man.
Trish,
I also like Money in the Tank if Shotzi's in it.
Trish has got this.
The only thing I want from this, I want Io to do a replication of her War Game spot. I want her to like go to the top of a ladder, put a trash can on her head.
Yes, with a trash can.
Jump off.
And just go.
That was the most fun I've ever seen anybody have in any sort of match. She was so happy to put a trash can over her head and jump off the top of a cage.
I think Lita's going to come out. I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, I'm going with Io on this, but this one I'm really disappointed that I'm not excited for it. I think Lita's going to come out and not backstab, but I think she's going to get Trish back for the beatdown that she put on her.
They're better as enemies. I'll put it that way. They are so much better as enemies.
Yeah, they are better. They're better
Now,
as enemies, but even better in a sex tape. Ayo, got him.
Do I want a Lita and Trish match in 2023?
No.
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 She
I want a
can't.
sex tape?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, anyway, let's move on from this. Let's move on from this. We're pretty much going Team EO, except, well, who's the
Ray
factor?
J in there, too.
No, we don't need to give Ray J anymore.
Made that other girl famous.
Kim Kardashian? Yes, that other girl famous. Anywho.
that other girl.
Anywho, 2B soap opera match of the night, what it's going to be at Money in the Bank, which this might be the main event because it damn sure deserves it.
Bloodline.
This is so good. It has its own special graphic. Okay, it's totally different from anything else. We have Bloodline Civil War, not to be confused with Marvel's Civil War, or Captain America Civil War. We have Roman and Solo versus the Usos, who have officially left the Bloodline, and we're going to figure out, according to WWE, who will be the ones. All right, here's what we're going to do. I have a feeling the Usos are going to find a way to win this, or something crazy is going to happen. But over under, how many super kicks will?
19.
Ooh.
No, you know what? No. I have a joke for this. They missed an opportunity. They should have called it the Revolutionary War, and there's going to be 1776 super kicks.
And they have a cannon, so it's like do 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 kick do 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 kick
This is more of a Revolutionary War because the Usos are staging a coup, right?
Is
They're
it a
leaving.
coup?
They're
Well, no. Well, a
revolutionizing.
coup means they're taking over, but they didn't. They
not
left.
taking over. They're breaking off.
Yeah.
It's not really a civil war.
Yeah,
it
is a civil war.
It's revolutionary.
No,
war.
it's a civil war because they're seceding from the Bloodline. A coup would be a takeover.
A coup would be they're trying to take over. Yeah, they're not
They're
trying to take
leaving.
over.
It's secession, so
it's a revolution.
yeah, revolutions, civil war.
Because civil war means you're going to unite again.
Good call. Good call.
Right?
Good call.
Right?
I mean, no, civil just means like I don't know how you would define civil in this case, because the way that I think they're trying to do it is that civil war is just a fight between family, essentially. Like how America's Civil War was like it's a fight within the family.
It's the same country still.
Yeah.
Whereas but the Revolutionary War was technically in between family. It was England. It was all England. It was a revolution.
Yeah.
That's why I think this is more of a revolution than it is a civil war.
I still say civil because
I think they're not calling it revolution because it stings the Brits a little bit too much.
It would sting the Brits too much if the Usos or they had this match in a harbor somewhere and they started throwing tea.
Tea packets.
Sorry, I'm a history nerd.
Yeah. How many super kicks? 17.76.
Alexis, how many super kicks?
Oh my God.
Also, good point. Grammatically speaking, civil war is an oxymoron. How can a war be civil if people are dying?
That's also very true.
That's the opposite of civility.
Yeah, it's very, very true. There's nothing civil about war.
Oh.
But yeah, Roman wins. I think Roman wins. He took the L last time. Dude, you can't have Roman lose twice in a row. Are you kidding me? Guy's a tribal chief. He glistens.
No.
He glistens, Ricky. He fucking glistens. He does glisten. Look at him. He's glistening in this picture. He's so shiny.
It's a lot of photos. It's a lot of good Photoshop in there.
Oh, it's like they put a mat on him.
Under, I think they're gonna do at least 20 super kicks.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Because do they even punch anybody, or do they just kick them all the time?
No, they do some punches from time to time.
And the Young Bucks don't punch. Come on.
The Young Bucks do not punch at all. Young Bucks kick and dive and flip. But yeah, 20 sounds about right.
I'm gonna go with the Usos on this one, because if they're doing it the way I think they're gonna do, who have they picked who Roman's gonna go up against at SummerSlam?
No, not yet.
Okay, so here's how...
I think I have an idea, but I want to hear yours.
Okay, so this is what majority of the girlies and I are thinking, is that Solo is going to cause them the match, right? Roman's already super paranoid as all out. I think Solo's going to do something that causes him to lose the match. like he's going to accidentally spike Roman or something like that. And then he's going to go absolute crazy and kick Solo out. And then Solo and the Usos are going to have a united front, and they're going to take out Roman, whoever he's going up against at SummerSlam. Because you can't have one, like, Money in the Bank is like one of the new big fours. This is the classic big four. Like SummerSlam, it's Mania, Royal Rumble, Sorry, I stroked out. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. Those are your major core. You can't not have him. I mean, he already didn't go to Puerto Rico, so there was that.
Puerto Rico didn't need him.
You can't. I really wish for Backlash they just switched those two matches around. Like the street fight should have been the last match, but that's a whole other story.
We agree with you. We agree with you wholeheartedly.
I think something's going to happen between now and SummerSlam. Solo's going to get kicked out. He's going to have to go back to his brothers. And then whoever they pick for Roman to go up at SummerSlam, whether it's the Money in the Bank winner or somebody else, that they're going to cost Roman the title. It's been 3 years. He's hit the 100,000 mark, or not the 100,000 mark. Oh,
no, please.
Jesus, we all be dead. No. They just be willing out his, skeleton. They've already hit the 1,000 days. Nobody cares about it because they're like, oh, Bruno Sammartino did it, and I'm like, well, that was back when the territories existed.
Bruno Sammartino did it twice.
Yeah. But I mean, it's because it actually meant something because he could travel with the title.
Yeah, and Roman didn't travel, and Bruno didn't travel on with 3 of the same exact belt in different colors. Such an asshole.
Right, and I'm just like, this is like just seeing him. I'm like, that is such a waste of belts.
Roman does not care.
And it's like instead of just letting them do this, they're like, oh, we're just going to create belts and give one to Seth, even though Seth has been putting in the work, character-wise, work-wise, to actually take one of those titles off of Roman.
Listen, it's the shut up, Seth, here's a world title. Roman's still the guy.
I don't know, man. Roman's put in the work. We booed him for almost a decade.
It took them, and this is my issue with Roman, is that they took 10 years to turn him heel. And now it's like people are still getting tired of him. And it's just like, and everyone's like, well, I just want to know where all this backlash is coming from all of a sudden. I'm like, dude, it's been 3 years. 3 very long years.
It's working. Here's where I think you're changing. I think the Usos might win or something, and Solo might turn on Roman or just hit Roman and Roman gets paranoid and kick him out. But I think if we're going to culminate this at SummerSlam, or we're going to believe it's going to culminate at SummerSlam because it's not going to culminate at SummerSlam, you give us Jay versus Roman SummerSlam main event for the title.
That could work.
What?
Jay doesn't.
No, Jay does not win. No, Jay does not win. No.
Dude, so Roman gets like 1,100 days. I hope you're ready for Roman to carry his belt into next year's Mania.
Yeah, that is exactly what's hhappening.
He's got to lose it.
He's going to lose it on the biggest stage possible, or on a house show, just because WWE wants to fuck with people. But no, he's going to lose on the biggest stage possible, and it's going to be in Philly.
I can't. Let's see. I can't
main
do
event
it.
on Peacock.
I can't do it anymore.
Listen.
Oh, I'm still on the train.
Yeah,
man.
I'm still there.
I am still.
I'm still there.
I am still a Roman leg. I don't care. I'll say it.
Yeah. So, who do you have for winning this? You're saying Roman, right?
Yeah, Roman and Solo. Unless Solo just turns on Roman and joins the Usos, it's a 3-on-1 beatdown. It's not even like a real match.
Yeah, there's something freaky going to happen, but it is going to be cinema. Suck that, Martin Scorsese. Let's move along to, the other thing that's a world title that no one really cares about because Roman has 3 of them. Finn Balor, who has had a phenomenal video package of him versus Seth freaking Rollins, the guy who's trying to legitimize his World Heavyweight title so much he actually defended it on NXT a couple of weeks ago. So there you go. Seth Rollins.
Yeah, this picture of Seth, he's thinking, I'm so cool. The rest of us are going, yeah, no, you're not.
Although I will say he has the better looking of the world titles.
It's gorgeous. It looks phenomenal.
He's a better looking world titles. This match didn't have any steam until Finn Balor's video package on Monday, where he talked about relinquishing the title, the Universal title, the first ever one, for 22 hours after Seth fucked up his career for a very long time. Thanks, Seth, for that. And Seth came out right after Finn had relinquished and laughed in Finn's face, and apparently Finn has held on to it. We are finally getting that Prince McDevitt again, kind of like Finn Balor 2.0 when he returned to NXT and had a crazy stellar run as a two-time champion again. He said, Finn is so confident, he's like, I'm not even fucking bringing the demon back.
Yeah, because he lost.
So, I was kind of hoping for Jack the Ripper demon, like he did in NXT when they did London that one time.
That was great.
Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper demon was really fun. This match caught a lot of steam really quick. They really are trying to build up Finn. He's kind of got that angry edge back again, thank God. But Seth, this title's too new for Seth to lose it right now.
Oh no!
We have disasters. What's going on there, Alexis?
Oh no! Oh my God!
What happened? What do we got here? We got breaking news.
This thought just came through my head.
All right, let's hear this.
Priest wins Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Seth beats Finn.
Yeah.
Damian tries to cash in on Seth. It's a failed cash in.
Ooh.
And Finn fucks him over.
Yeah.
And then they tried, and I know they're really big on Judgment Day right now, but come Monday, are they having Raw in the States, or are they going to be in London still?
Raw will return to the States, I believe.
Okay. Then
they got Sunday's a travel day.
So they both lose, and Judgment Day impacts because Rhea is women's champion, and she's doing what she needs to be doing, and she don't have time for their little petty BS because now she's got somebody who's either that could possibly come after her title.
Oh, Rhea's got plenty of time. She got no competition.
Yeah.
Right. So that is like a worst case scenario.
Yeah, that'd be really cool though.
Yeah.
If that
Rhea
happens,
tries to cash in and Finn fucks him over.
That'd be interesting, yeah. And
if this happens, I'm going to scream and then sue WWE for creative stealing my idea.
I'm not gonna lie, they've stolen our ideas before. We've said some stuff like, wait a minute.
Well, we've just had good ideas of the writing on the wall.
Nicole has been screaming from the rooftops that Lacey Evans needs to have like the Sergeant Slaughter gimmick. And like 2 weeks ago, she came out with the hat, doing the salute and everything, I'm like, they're bugging. They're listening to the podcast now because that means they have no idea what they're going to do.
Lacey Evans needs to come out and start praising Russia. Let's be real.
She becomes a Russian sympathizer.
Yeah, or China, one of the
Russia,
other, or both.
Russia,
Fuck it, both.
Russia. No, they really dropped the ball with Lacey Evans for a while. But anyway, back to this match. I think Seth wins.
Yeah,
I'm very interested to see what outfit Seth comes out in. I'm thinking another Elton John cosplay like he did at Clash.
Seth complained without a belt. How much is he gonna complain after he loses the belt after like a month? Please.
Yeah.
If this is the Seth shut up belt, you don't take it off of him.
Yeah, not for a long time. I mean, Seth was complaining about this belt so badly. Becky was complaining for him in interviews as well. So it was a big gripe. But yeah, now Seth's winning. They're gonna put on a fun match. Seth might try to kill Finn's shoulder again, but we'll see how that plays out. But Seth wins us all the way. Let's move on to hey bro, Matt Riddle's alive. But not for long because he's going up against Gunther.
Bathroom
Yeah,
break.
he's going up against Gunther. Matt Riddle is going to get annihilated because you're never taking this belt off Gunther, not for a very, very long time, especially over in the UK. This is going to be amazing because I can't wait for Riddle to die. And if it's, I don't think it's just me. Are we all tired of Riddle? Because I'm tired of him.
I've never liked him.
Fair.
Truth be told, I never saw the big deal about it. All he does is steal other people's moves and just put bro in front of it. We've seen this gimmick before. Rob Van Dam did it way better.
Yes.
We've seen other people do the stoner bro thing. He's not a very good person. Him and his ex-wife have the podcast blocked on Twitter because apparently they didn't like the fact that we called her out being like a really ratchet ass bitch, excuse my language, to a lot of the women in the locker room, saying that, that Charlotte Flair is not hot enough to be a wrestler and she needs to train with her. Meanwhile, his ex-wife has no ass. So built like a surfboard and Larry the Lobster from SpongeBob. Like, apparently she heard what we said and she didn't like that, and neither did Matt. So,
well,
I don't like him. I don't like him as a person. I don't like him as a wrestler. That's why I try not to talk about it, because some people are like, well, you can't divide blah, 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 blah. I want Gunther to cave his chest in.
Oh, it's going to happen. I can't wait for it.
And I'm going to love it.
I can't wait. The best thing about this is, like, KO hating him so much that in, like, the segment, I think, on Monday, KO and Sam were talking to Imperium, and he was like, I hate Riddle, and Sam was like, we gotta defend him, and KO's like, we gotta defend him? Alright. Like, the things they're doing with KO is amazing, but yes, no, Gunther is going to annihilate Riddle, because as Fred said, the honko-meter is going to be broken in September, and Gunther will break the Honky Tonk Man's record for longest Intercontinental title reign, thank God.
Oh my God, remember Santino had that gimmick? I've been Intercontinental Champion for 3 weeks.
I love the fact Santino's back. I'm glad he's in Impact, and it's just, I forgot how funny he actually was.
He was a great guy.
God, he was the best. He got a fucking snake sock puppet over.
Do you remember, real quick sidebar, do you remember the snake, the Cobra versus Mr. Sacco at the Royal Rumble?
Yes!
Remember Jinder Mahal played the flute and he was dancing?
No, I don't actually. I need to find that.
So, like,
yeah.
he brought out the sock puppet. Jinder Mahal brought out a flute and started playing it. And then Santino started dancing. Like, with the snake started dancing, dude. It was ridiculous and really funny.
WWE is really good with the right amount of ridiculous. But all in all, Gunther is going to win this, and I can't wait to have Riddle's get the bro slapped out of him for once.
Yeah, dude, Riddle had 9 lives in there.
Yeah,
sorry.
It is over. Speaking of people who have 9 lives and still is going to have more lives, because people are still going to boo Dominick Mysterio when he goes up against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Speaking of American and Revolution, how is Cody going to be received when he comes out in red, white, and blue like Homelander in the UK? I'll be very interested in that. I'm going to say he's over like Rover, but
over like Rover.
Oh, especially Cody, because he put in the work over there. Like all the
fair.
Europe has this weird thing for American independent wrestlers.
I don't blame them.
Where, because they don't come over a whole lot, so when they do, it's a big deal. I remember being on here, a year ago?
Just about.
We were bitching and complaining about Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, rightfully so.
I was so, and I'm going to hate myself for this, when he was going up against Roman, I really was like, he's got to do it! He's got to do it! You know, like, really just, I did the whoa thing.
Listen,
I wore my Dusty
we were
Rhodes
all
shirt
with you. We were all with you.
I wasn't.
Whatever.
And I'm just like, a year ago, I was on Kings of the Rings complaining about this, and now I want this guy to win, and I'm behind him 100%. And I don't know if I drank the Kool-Aid or if I was just tired of Roman, or he would be an amazing cult leader. Cody Rhodes can like just make anybody kind of just like put in his kind of shoes kind of thing. I don't
Reverend
know
Rhodes, man. Reverend Rhodes.
Cody's gonna win unless. If Rhea tries something, I think Brandy needs to show up and slap her.
No, we do not need Brandy. Okay, I saw what happened with AEW heels. Brandy needs to stay on the sideline for a while. I'll accept Pharaoh the dog who showed up on Raw. I'm very happy that Pharaoh was there. Pretty cool. They were in Georgia. I get it. We do not need Brandy. Damn it.
But when did Cody say the N-word to Quan? I don't remember that.
No, he said Cody say.
Yeah. So I can't read that. I can't read that. But Tell me why this picture of Dom just screams, bro, are you seriously talking during quiet waiting time?
If this is
is a
supposed to be
library.
intimidating,
We got great graphics today.
Thank WWE for that.
it's better than the AEW graphics they put in that video game.
Although I heard it's good according to Mr. Freds. But yeah, no, Cody's gonna be good. The woe might be the loudest ever. It's gonna be fantastic. But Cody's beating Dom because Dom can just take a loss because everybody loves to see Dom lose.
Yeah.
Well, again, that goes with the thing. If Dom loses and Finn loses and Priest wins, Priest can kind of hoard that
That's
over
why I think.
the
That's
other
why
two.
I think Priest wins. He's like, why aren't I the leader?
Yeah, it'd be bad if Judgment Day went 0 for 3 at Money in the Bank. So there is credence
Dude,
to
all
that.
they do is lose. They
mean, at
lose all the time, other than Rhea. They lose all.
Finn
the
won on
time.
Monday.
They suck. Who
At
cares?
this
They don't win
point,
feuds.
Rhea,
They don't win matches that matter.
at this point, Rhea is the leader of Judgment Day, if anybody asks me. And we've talked about this too on our
Facts.
show. It's just that Judgment Day, I get it now, they have their footing, but it's like for the longest time, what was their exact reason? They weren't going after the US title or the IC title, whatever show they were on. They have enough people to have tag teams. You never saw Damian or Dom trying to go for it, or Damian and Finn. And it's just like, what are you guys doing?
They're the emo band or the emo group of wrestling for a while.
Nah, they not the emo
They're
group.
they're
that
better
goes to
emo than the
Dark Order.
Skins. All right, good call. I'll take that. The Dark Order is super emo. But for some reason, as much as Judgment Day loses, they still listen. Damian Priest is in a good position. Dominic is in a crazy position. I used to call for Dominic to go to NXT, and now I'm like, we need him. He's a heat magnet. You know.
I think Priest, like, people forgot how good Priest was because for a while he was just kind of like Damien's babysitter. It's like the best way to put it. And I think the street fight in Puerto Rico with Bad Bunny
Fantastic.
really told people like,
Yeah, amazing.
hey, this guy can carry a main event.
Yeah.
Tom is just Rhea's lesbian daughters.
Oh my God. No, because I know lesbians and they saw that haircut, they'd be like, nah, shave it off.
Here's the thing: if you think of like who has Judgment Day helped, the answer is it's just Dom, right? Because like Rhea's career has been super elevated, but not because of Judgment Day. Rhea's pretty much done that on her own. Like Judgment Day doesn't help Rhea do
I'll
anything.
give you that. In Rhea's signature matches, Judgment Day is nowhere to be found, which is an interesting booking choice.
They can't because they can't hit women.
Yeah.
Like Rhea can help Dom because she can hit men, and it's believable.
She could power slam men
But
too. It's crazy.
It's like my point is like Judgment Day didn't help Rhea. Rhea helped herself. They gave her a new character, sure, but the Judgment Day itself didn't elevate her. It really only elevated Dom. It's done nothing for Finn, and it's done nothing for Priest.
Because remember when Rhea showed up?
Continue.
When Rhea showed up for her grand, that thing that they did, no one cheered. When she was like, she's the new member of Judgment Day. Nobody cheered. No one even really made any noise.
Yeah.
So it's just.
It's like, oh, we saw that coming. Thanks, Mel.
Yeah.
No, it was good. But no, Dom loses, and somehow he still remains the biggest heat magnet in all of wrestling. MJF could take some lessons from it. So yeah, Cody wins. Move on, we got a couple more matches. Oh yeah, there's tag team titles because they got fused. Shayna and Ronda, who will not be tag team champions for long, I think, are going to face in a proper rematch against Raquel and Liv because, surprise, surprise, Liv came back from a shoulder injury really, really early, which is very surprising.
Early.
Very, very surprising. This got added last week on SmackDown, so now there's only one pair of tag team champions, Shayna and Ronda, facing Liv and Raquel. I do believe Shayna and Ronda are just transitional in nature, and they will drop to Liv and Raquel because I think obviously Liv getting injured was not supposed to happen. So I think they're going to put the titles back on them. What do you got, Alexis?
I'm going with Raquel and Liv. I love Shayna, but I cannot stand Ronda Rousey. I don't like her. That's all I'm going to say about Ronda.
Fair.
I wish Shayna would have a match with Rhea or Asuka. I'm still crossing my fingers for an Asuka Shayna match one day because of that tease we got at Elimination Chamber. I like Liv, I think they pulled the trigger on her a little too early when it came to doing the SmackDown champion. I wasn't like one of those people who were like, I was not one of those people who were shitting on her for having the title. I think that had to do with who she was going up against, and she really didn't have much to do except, the same 3 people, and then she dropped it back to Rousey. Raquel, I would love to see as a future women's champ. I want her to be a powerhouse. So, do that. Have Shayna go up against Ronda at SummerSlam. Do something. I just don't like Ronda Rousey. And same thing with Matt Riddle. A lot of the personal dislike I have for her gets put into what I say about her. So I'm just going to leave it at Liv and Raquel take the titles.
Understandable. I think the thing with Liv, especially with her first title run, I think she did cash in on Rousey. People were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she did.
We were like, wow. I think the thing with Liv is that Liv didn't find her character until a little bit later. Like, I love crazy kind of invoking her inner Jeff Hardy, Liv Morgan. Like, it's actually phenomenal.
We've done so much bashing Liv Morgan on the podcast.
No, but like when I think her match at Extreme Rules, when she was like kind of unhinged, I was like, she's got it. I was like, this is the Liv Morgan that we need. Like, just this crazy psycho, and then she gets injured, and then they relegated her to the tag team division. But like, her and Raquel were trying to make it work, and they just got cut short. That's why I think they are going to get these tag titles back. Well, I'm assuming you really don't care about this match.
I don't care, but I think Ronda and Shayna are keeping them because who cares with this makeshift other 2 random tag team?
Of all the makeshift tag teams outside of Chelsea and Sonya, which Chelsea Green is just Alicia Fox in disguise.
Her TikToks are really
Who,
fun.
Chelsea Green? Did you see what they put up on WWE? Like, they've been starting staging her TikToks?
Yeah. It was like a compilation. It was really funny. She gets out of the car in traffic. Did you really just honk at me?
Brilliant. What I will say, Liv and Raquel were getting there to try to make themselves at least look like a legitimate tag team with like matching gear and stuff. And I feel like they had something going. It was just cut short. But also, Shayna and Ronda, and they're still at this time, from a, I guess, more of a global perspective outside of the marks. They are the bigger name, especially Ronda.
Dude, I forgot Ronda was on the roster, to be honest. Like, her star power is gone. No one cares about Ronda Rousey
She
anymore.
can't talk. That's the issue. And Shayna's a better talker, but not by much. What?
Shayna, I think and I didn't mean to interrupt, but I think Shayna being put with Ronda is kind of not doing anything for Shayna.
It's supposed to help Ronda, but it does bad for Shayna.
And look, if this was Ronda Rousey from like 10 years ago, when she was still like the undefeated, badass or whatever, that'd be one thing. But she gets no response from the crowd. And as like a wrestler, that is the worst thing you can get. At least Baron Corbin gets a reaction from the crowd. Like, my daughter calls him the Toilet King. I don't know how she came up with that.
Wow.
No, wait.
Wow.
It's when
name.
It's when he was
new name for Baron Corbin.
He was King Corbin. It was King Corbin, and he was being carried. And she goes, "Mom, why is he pooping?" I go, "He's not pooping." And she's like, "Well, he looks like he's sitting on a toilet. He's a Toilet King." And I'm like,
I love it. That's
I don't
amazing.
know what to say.
That is amazing.
She's evil. My child is
I'm going to tag Baron Corbin in this
something.
later because he does respond to social media. She's got a chef messing with him on TikTok. He does.
But
I did hear about that. It's pretty
Chef
funny.
reactions is really funny with Corbin.
But Shayna was
Toilet King.
Yeah, just give my daughter credit. That's all I ask.
We will. Bum-ass Toilet King. So, anywho, yeah, this is going to be a toss-up for the tag titles. I wouldn't be surprised if they hide this somewhere in the middle of the card. And that actually is the last match on the card that we have here. So, Money in the Bank, again, is going on this weekend from the O2 Arena in London. 3 p.m. start time on the East Coast. So, you guys have no damn excuse not to miss this. It's in the middle of a freaking Saturday. You can take your afternoon out, watch this, and go about your Memorial Day week, not Memorial Day, July 4th weekend, or Canada Day for my people up north. Happy Canada Day in advance. Frets and not Slack, but also the Queen, Danny Nolan. So, be that as it may, what do we expect from this Money in the Bank Premium Live event, formerly known as a pay-per-view, in a score of 1 to 10 crowns? 1 being the worst pay-per-view ever, like that Exploding Deathmatch main event, or 10 being the greatest thing that you have ever seen. Alexis, how do you think this Premium Live event will go?
I'm gonna give it at least maybe a 6.
Ooh, that's pretty low.
Because I know the only thing that I'm personally interested in is the Bloodline imploding, all the super kicks that it's gonna be flying around, and the men's Money in the Bank match, and what Seth Rollins is gonna wear.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know.
Six is still low. Wow.
I'm not expecting much. Like, I'm just not expecting much, which sucks because Money in the Bank is actually one of my favorite matches of the year. Mm-hmm. I mean, the women's could be a sleeper match. I mean, any of these matches could honestly be a sleeper match, but I don't know. I just don't feel the hype for it this year.
Understandable. Will Tarachuk, how much are you going with this? How many crowns?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. In Forbidden Door, we didn't crown Forbidden Door. I'm gonna give Forbidden Door 7.5. 7.5 for Forbidden Door. But this one I'm gonna give a strong 8.5. I think it's a great card. There's a few duds I don't care about, but I'm open to be surprised.
Yeah.
So.
For me, I'm also going to give it a strong 8.5. I think it's going to be a really, really solid show. I have this visual now of Seth coming out as one of the British Royal Guards with like the hat and everything.
That would be cool. No, that's what Cody's probably going to come out like.
No, I think Cody's going to be Homelander Cody. We're going to get British. We're going to get Royal Guard British Seth, and I think we're going to have Colonial Logan Paul because he would be that obnoxious of a heel.
That'd be good. Oh, and Selena Vega comes out as a skeleton of Queen Elizabeth.
No. She definitely comes out as a Street Fighter character. I don't know which one though.
Yeah, Street Fighter 6 to just come out, so that makes sense.
The Scott-Irish Welsh part of me wants to just bust out laughing right now, but the other part's like, no, don't you dare.
This is in a box,
Like I want Logan Paul to come out with like the drums and everything.
Like, he's gonna get booed so
loud. I can't wait for it either. I can't wait.
And a powdered wig.
Yes, I want powdered wig Logan Paul.
Powder.
Oh, I could.
In like servants holding prime.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I can't wait for it, but I'm very excited for Money in the Bank. If you are, like I said, or like we said earlier, in the New York City area and you want to watch it with Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano, be sure to show up at Dave & Buster's right outside of the Barclays Center. They're going to be hosting a WWE official watch party where you could win tickets to WrestleMania, as well as a prize pack of Money in the Bank in the Money in the Bank briefcase with official WWE merch. It's completely free too, which is pretty great. So thanks, WWE. Hopefully you do that again in the future. But with that being said, we're pretty much done. First and foremost, Alexis, thank you for joining us and being a part of one of our big shows of the year. You have been wonderful as always. You again, obviously, you're more than welcome anytime. I think Will, this is your first time interacting with Alexis. Yes. You're a great guest. You and the rest of your girls are welcome back anytime on the show. But before we do get going, is there anything that you would like to plug?
Follow us on Twitter, Down for the Count 19. You can see it right here. You can follow us on Instagram at D4TC_19. Check out our girl Tiff, our fearless leader. Her YouTube and Instagram page is Psych Design TV 2, TOO. She goes live every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday talking about WWE, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. You can follow Down for the Count on Anchor, Google Podcast, and Spotify. And really, that's it. Just, thanks for everyone who's supporting us. Thanks for letting me come back on the show. I have a blast with you guys. And we got some things working on, and hopefully when I'm done with college, things will be a lot easier.
Yeah, seriously, tell us all of your cybersecurity secrets that you've learned, because we need to know as soon as possible.
I will make sure I do that on the extreme down low.
That's perfectly fine. That's exactly how I would like it to be. Are you going to be joining us for the post show, or are you going to be skedaddling?
I can join for the post
Great,
show.
because we're gonna play some quick games of Am I the Asshole?
Awesome. I just have to go check on my kid first, make sure she's still okay.
Go right ahead. While you do that, Will Tarashak, can you get us out of here, please, sir?
Yes, sir. Let me hit that button. Love this button.
I haven't heard that one in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 345, Money for the Marks 2023, our 8th time we've been doing this special, which means it's like my 8th year doing this goddamn show, which is absolutely bonkers. I've enjoyed my time. It's really opened up my world. Thanks for Will Tarashak for just saying, hey, just come back next week, and that's how it really all started.
Never leave.
Yes, you can find me at Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets when I decide to pop my head in again. Find Kings of the Rings podcast at KOTR_podcast across all social media. Like, share, subscribe, leave us 5-star reviews. If you want to support us, you can even join our $5 Patreon, or you more importantly, we have some great merch of all different styles and colors and sizes and designs. Will has his merch. I have my merch. KOTR has the merch. Wrestle Addict Radio has a bunch of merch featuring all of our shows, which includes the WrestleMania podcast, the Brace for Impact podcast, and the Young Lions Perspective podcast. You can follow Wrestle Addict Radio at addict_wrestle on Twitter, and Wrestle Addict Radio everywhere else on social media. The links to all of that stuff, including our merchandise and everything in between, is in the description below, wherever you are listening to us or you are watching us right now. Once again, Alexis, thank you for joining us. We will definitely have to collaborate. We need to get on Down for the Count Wrestling podcast. I want to do an all women's podcast. I want to be in that atmosphere. I used to hang out in sorority houses, so I'm okay with this. I'm okay.
God,
it has been a while. It has been a while, but
we're not really a sorority. We're more of like a fraternity with just girls who swear and yell out.
That's a sorority. That's a sorority. That's pretty much what a sorority is. Anyway, we're gonna keep this conversation going on the post show. But first, Will Tarashak, happy anniversary, I guess.
I know. Happy anniversary to us.
Happy anniversary.
It has been a wild 8 years, Ricky.
Jesus
it's been a crazy
Christ.
Experience on this podcast. There's no other man I'd rather do it than the man yourself. So thank you for keeping this podcast alive. And ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting started. We are just getting started. We got 8 years and counting, because this podcast is the fun podcast. I mean, other podcast is a business podcast. Being talking with Tarashuk, T's and Thomas, ARASHUK. A lot of fun stuff coming from next. I am a professional podcast host, which I do this shit for a living. But in the last few minutes here, I want to say a big RIP to Stitcher. Stitcher has announced yesterday that they're closing their doors officially. The podcast platform I've listened to podcasts on for the past 12 years. So
Wow.
officially moving over to Spotify, and it hurts my soul. But Stitcher, you're the real one. RIP to a legend.
RIP to a legend. When we come back next week, folks, we're going to do all of our Money in the Bank recap. Hopefully no one has cashed in. Probably not, because there's going to be some woman who's going to cash in at some point. Probably EO cashing in on Asuka. What's up?
Dave's coming back. Dave's cashing in.
Dave's cashing in. Oh my God, we should have definitely done a Money in the Bank giveaway where one of our Hall of Famers can cash in an appearance one day.
Cash in on K and his
Yeah.
Can I just do a quick shout out
Go
real
right
quick?
ahead.
Because this is from my mom and dad, because my mom actually listens to the show.
Hey, Mom.
And she's like one of our biggest supporters. Today is her and my dad's 50th wedding anniversary. So congratulations to my mom and dad.
Yes, that's the golden one.
Congratulations, Mom
That's the
and
golden
Dad.
one, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And here's to a couple more years, because I'm not ready for them to go anywhere. But congratulations to my mom and dad.
Absolutely.
So.
Congratulations to the parents of this wonderful, wonderful young woman, Alexis, 50.
Stop lying. They know that's not real.
Well, you're the one who revealed it. Anyway, folks, we'll be back next week. Money in the Bank recap. Cashing in on something. Goodbye. Good night. Fuck you, Slack. I don't care how cool you are. And we'll see you soon. This has been a Wrestle Addict Radio branded podcast.